George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. Early voting starts today. Well, actually, it started yesterday. And for the next few days until next Sunday, you can vote early for your favorite candidates all over Onondaga County. Some of your favorite locations: Syracuse Community Connections, DeWitt Town Hall, Lafayette Town Hall, Northside, all over town. There's places where you can go. To help you do that, though, is the Syracuse Onondaga County NAACP. And here we have the president, Madam President Gwen Muok. Gwen, good to see you. And certainly this election season, as they all have been, is very important. And how are you helping?
George, elections are very important. And what we are doing this year is we are promoting early voting by encouraging the churches that have buses on today and also on November 5th, that following their church service, if they take their members who need to vote out to one of the local voting places that's open for early voting, we will be there with refreshments to serve after they have voted.
Oh, that's very nice. And so have the churches, do we know which churches have already agreed to do it?
No, we don't know. We've reached out, but we're planning as if they're all the ones we've contacted are planning to bring their members to the polls to vote.
And so that means that some members of the NAACP will be fanned out all across the county, wherever the churches agreed to do it.
We've looked at the churches that have buses, and we've identified the polling places that are closest to them. Mm-hmm. So based on the churches we've identified, there are only 2 polling places that are closest to them. So we will be at those polling places.
Okay. All right. So it's just a question of whether or not they will participate. You also have your Souls to the Polls on Election Day, which this year is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. Yes. Tell me about that effort as well.
Well, we're looking for volunteers. We have all kinds of material out because in addition to driving people to the polls who need a ride to the polls, we will be phone banking. We will be calling people who have registered to vote with us, who have are registered voters. We call them, we encourage them to go out and vote. We ask them if they need a ride to the polls, and if they do, we will send someone over to pick them up and drive them to the polls and bring them back to their homes.
No, that's very, very important. And again, for the early voting, which started yesterday, the locations, there are some expanded locations. So this year, the early voting between now and next Sunday, you've got Bishop Branch Library, Alma Magnorelli Community Center, McChesney Park, Camillus Fire Department, Clay Town Hall, DeWitt Town Hall, Lafayette Fire Station, Lysander Municipal Building, the Onondaga Community College, Mulroy Hall, the North Syracuse Community Center, and the Syracuse Community Connections Community Center, Southwest Community Center. Now, here's the deal. This is what's really important for our audience to recognize. You can vote anywhere at any one of those early voting locations, no matter where you live.
Exactly. You don't have to go to your normal voting polling place. You can go to any early voting location.
And I just gave that. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And on November 7th, the polls open at 6:00 a.m. So you can vote. If you haven't done early voting, you can vote before you go to work. The polls are open till 9 p.m. So you can vote after work. But make sure you vote.
And so for today, if you're early voting today, the polls are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then the rest of the week, they have various hours. Your late nights, meaning the polls are open till 8, are Wednesday and Thursday. Polls open at noon, they go to 8. And for the rest of the week, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, 10 to 6, and then Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. So you have till November the 5th to vote early. I vote early now that I have the opportunity to vote early when I get it out of the way. And
Right.
It's just so critical, and we look at the kind of things that are happening all across this country, especially what they tried to do with Trump and his minions. I'm speaking for myself, where they basically tried to say because they lost, it was illegitimate, and so we don't need any of that. But I know I don't think you can still register people, but
Yes, you can. You can register as
in,
long as your registration is at the Board of Elections by
you can go in
October
person.
20.
Right, okay, October 28th. Wait,
Right.
so that actually that passed. That was yesterday. So we've already passed that deadline, unfortunately, for the purposes of this conversation. When but yeah, that so today yesterday was the last day for
Yeah.
for that. All
For,
right.
for
So
registration.
so but never underestimate registering people to vote. So you can't vote in this election if you're not already registered. But here's the deal. Even if you didn't make it for this election, you can vote in the next one because you have your school boards coming up. And if you live outside of the local Syracuse city, you got some of the school board elections. They'll be coming up in May, and then you can vote in the elections coming up next fall. I actually registered a young man who was a student at Syracuse University. I talked about it on the show, and I actually registered this individual. So that was really important. You're also looking for people to volunteer. Tell me about
Yes.
how they do that because it's not just the NAACP. The NAACP, which is an all volunteer organization, also needs community support to get the souls to the polls to happen. So how do they do that?
They can call our office or they can go online to signup.com. There's a link that's available. So you could call the office and we could give you the link. And you just go on. You don't have to register. You just go into the link, select the times and day you would like to register, and voila, you're done.
And
It's
is it
very
and so this driving folks back and forth to the polls, is that just for the election day, or are you also looking for today maybe if they have time, or is it just for today? Is it for today and next?
no,
Just for the
no,
election day?
just for election day, November 7th, right?
Okay, just for
That
election
will
day.
be the day we will be call banking and driving people to the polls.
Yeah,
And we
and just
need lots of volunteers to do that.
yeah. So if you can help, please, help the NAACP. The number is 315-440-6340. Gwen, you also have the floor. So here's your chance to tell us what the NAACP is doing and what you need people to do to support and become members.
We need people to step up to the plate and volunteer. The NAACP is committed to raising awareness to ensure political, educational, social, and economic equality, to eliminate race-based discrimination, and to ensure the health and well-being of all persons, not just one certain group of people. And in order to do that, we need volunteers. We're an all volunteer organization. So we encourage you to become a member. Join one of our committees. We have very active committees. We need you. We need the community to be involved. Our motto is community, collaboration, and communication. So we need everyone to step up to the plate and get involved.
All right. And how do they do that?
They can call us. They can go online to Syracuse NAACP and take a membership. Membership annually is only $30 a year, and join one of our many committees that are the committees are very active in the community, and we just want you to be involved.
I know we're 6 months away from the Freedom Fund dinner. Do you have a date?
Our Freedom Fund dinner is usually the fourth Thursday in May. So
Okay.
we are in the process of confirming a day and a speaker.
Cool. Very good. All right, Gwen, the main purpose for our conversation today was to encourage people to
vote.
early vote today and next Sunday. There are a couple of churches. Do you want to name the churches, by the way? Who?
No.
Okay, but
Okay.
so they should call you if they need help, right?
They should call us if we need help. And also, if your church has a bus that's available on November 7th, also reach out to us, because we can use buses as well as persons who would like to drive their cars to drive people to the polls.
All right, that's Gwen Muok, president of the Syracuse Onondaga County NAACP. Ride, they're looking for you to not only, if you need a ride to the polls, that number to call is 315-440-6340. If you need a ride to the polls, early voting started yesterday all over this community. And let's say you live, if you're, you might be downtown, or you might be around town, or you might find yourself in another part of the city. You can go into that poll and vote, even if you live on another side of town. So that's really, really important for you to know. And registration has closed as of yesterday, but remember, VOTE, vote, because
your vote counts.
Listen, if you saw the mess, now this is me speaking, and this is not the NAACP, but this is me speaking. If you saw the mess in Congress this past month, you know what you got to do. Vote. And I'll add to that, them out of office. But anyway, we'll talk about that at another time. But the NAACP doesn't care who you vote for. They just want you to vote.
As long as you vote.
That's right. And souls to the polls. You need a ride, or if you can offer a ride, 315-440-6340 on November 7th. And for today and next Sunday, there might be some churches who we'll listen, we'll update that when we get the information. In the meantime, Gwen Muok, anything coming up aside, you had your candidates forum this week, anything else coming up that we need to know about?
No, right now our focus is getting people out to vote. It's critical. It is critical. We did voter registration at the state fair again this year, and we will be doing that again next year. And we are out at all of the festivals, and you name it. We are tabling, and we are using that opportunity to register people to vote.
All right. That's Gwen Muok, Syracuse Onondaga County Chapter President of the NAACP. Inspiration for the Nation. Thank you, Gwen.
Thanks, George. See you.